Hello there, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm here with yet another beautiful story, Deep Water. Why this story is beautiful according to me? Because it's giving a lesson of determination, strong will, and it's teaching the readers, all of us, that when there is a will, there is surely a way, and fear, terror is our enemy. We should never be preserving, we should never be afraid of anything. If at all we have fear of anything, I mean it could be anything. In this story, Douglas has a fear of water, so we must try to overcome that fear. Many of the times, many of us try to live with that fear, but here in this story, William Douglas, who is not an ordinary personality, he had been an advisor of President Roosevelt, President of America, and also he has done so many other great things, which you will be finding in the introduction of Flamingo. And this story, it is basically an autobiographical account, as Douglas is not ashamed of making this confession to the readers that as he had water phobia, as he had aqua phobia, so he finally decided to overcome it one day, as he thought that it's like a handicap in his personality. His personality, according to him, was incomplete till the time he had fear of water. So, over to Deep Water by William Douglas. The story starts in William Douglas, who is around 10 or 11 years old, as we are told. He is sitting near the YMCA pool. He is sitting near the pool because he wants to learn to swim. Now he has decided that finally he would be learning to swim, so that that aversion, that fear of water he has, that should totally go away. He remembers his mother's advice that one part of the pool connected to Yakima River, which was tricky. So many cases of drowning had been there. So he should be staying away from that end, and the story proceeds further. Now, Douglas tells us something. He tells us about a very important misadventure, I mean, which took place at the time when he was around 3 or 4 years old. This misadventure, it is very important because this is the first time, or this is the time when Douglas actually starts getting afraid of water. So when he was 3 or 4 year old, he went to the California beach with his father, and as the father and son, they were together, one of the huge wave, it sort of covered Douglas completely, and he was kind of swept away. There was no danger to his life because his father was holding him tightly. But being a child, he could not understand that he is safe because his father is holding him, and he's really afraid, really nervous. He had that choking sensation which generally people have when they do not know swimming. So he is nervous, and the father smiled at that time. And this experience is it leaves bitter memories, and the aversion of water continues. Now, in the story, now he's 10 to 11-year old. Now he has decided finally, because this experience which took place, this misadventure which took place when he was 3 to 4 year old, this thing remains in his mind. So he's sitting near the pool, and suddenly a big boy who is around 18-year old, we are told that he is stronger than Douglas. He's a beautiful physical specimen, and just in a manner of fun, as generally kids do. So he tosses him, he throws him in the pool without realizing that poor Douglas doesn't know how to swim, and the water was 9 feet deep. And that 9 feet appears like 90 to Douglas as he makes a confession to us. Page number 26, Flamingo. We are given detailed description which you must read, that what were the attempts made by William Douglas to come out of the pool. As his feet touches the tiles of the pool, he decides to jump out. he is successful in jumping out and coming to the surface for once, but again, some invisible force sort of pushes him downwards, and he has a choking feeling. We are told that a great force was pulling him, that all of us understand that was just because he didn't know swimming. And we learned that his lungs started aching, and fear slowly and slowly was overcoming him, and he comes to the surface of water so many times, and sheer terror, stark terror is there, it surrounds him. As a matter of fact, terror is personified in the story. Terror is referred to as Mr. Terror, as if it's a human being which stands in front of Douglas to scare him. And he keeps on making efforts to come out of the pool. His heart is, as if it's his head is pounding, and his heart is really, he has a feeling that it's sinking, and terror surrounds him. His toes successfully sort of reach out. He comes to the surface, tries to hold the ropes, ladders, but there is nothing. There is no one who could take him out of the pool, and he keeps on using whatever energy he had to come out of the pool, but nothing is able to help him. He even tries to call his mother, but nothing happens. Finally, after making three efforts to come out of the pool, he is tired, and he feels that now his body doesn't have energy to resist it further, and it comes to his mind that everything was slowly and slowly going to oblivion, and he thinks that now his end is near and he's going to die. Then suddenly, the same boy who threw him in the pool, he takes him out, and since this time, this is the second misadventure, a question which generally would be asked to you. You would be asked to tell the first misadventure, which occurred at the California beach, and this is the second misadventure. It leaves a deep impact on his memory, and we are told that he, for many years, he was unable to enjoy all sort of water sports, and his leg would be paralyzed by the sight of water. Horror grabbed him. He wanted to go for fishing. He wanted to go for all sort of water games, and he wanted to enjoy boating, canoeing, swimming, but he was totally in the grip of fear, because that misadventure did not allow him to enjoy these water sports. So he finally decided that he should seek help. So in the month of October, he hires an instructor. Instructor takes precautions to make him feel safe in water. So as we are told, a rope was, first there was a rope tied to his waist, belt was there, which connected to a cable which went on an overhead cable which was connected to a pulley, and that means that 100% security for him was there, that the end of the rope was held by the instructor, and the cable, obviously, which was connected to his waist, it kept him safe. And this ways, slowly and slowly, he just tried to overcome his fear. Uh, Many of the times, the terror returned back, but he did not lose hope. And for weeks, he just went inside the pool, and that horror, that fear was there within him. But he doesn't sort of give up, and piece by piece, slowly and slowly, with the help of the instructor, he is finally able to overcome this fear of water. And in the month of April, he started swimming, learning, with the help of the instructor in the month of October. And we are told here, in the month of April, the instructor said, now you can swim. So tiny vestiges, little bit of fear still was there. So Douglas decides that Mr. Terror has been successful all these years to scare me. Now I should be determined. I should be strong enough to tell Mr. Terror that stop terrorizing me. So the story is giving us a very deep message that something which we should be scared of is fear only. If we overcome this feeling of being afraid of something, we would never ever be afraid of anything. So finally, we are told that he went to Lake Wanworth and he dived there, and we are told he swam for 2 miles across the lake. And the terror, the same old terror, his enemy, it returned. But Douglas, he was strong enough. He said that, Mr. Terror, please don't try to disturb me now. And I am fully confident, because he is confident. And he successfully swims, and his terror vanishes completely. And at the end of this story, you know, William Douglas is able to overcome his fear of water, and he leaves a message for the readers that all we have to fear is fear itself. Fear is our enemy. We should not be afraid of it. And these are basically the words of Roosevelt, which are quoted by him. And another thing which he says is that this experience, it had a deep meaning for him. This experience is how he was afraid of water, and finally he successfully comes it. It had a deep meaning for him, and he tells the readers that we should never ever be afraid of anything. And if at all we have fear of anything, we should remove that phobia. In his case, it was aquaphobia. In our case, it could be anything else. So it's a beautiful short story, and I hope you have understood the story, and you would be definitely applying this in your personal life, that you should not be afraid of things like students nowadays. They have a common phobia of examinations. So yes, my friends, you can overcome all sort of fears. So and even including examination phobia in this. So try to overcome that, because again, when there is a will, there is a way. So with that, the story ends. Yes, one thing I forgot. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you like it, leave some comments. If not some comment, leave a comment. And if you want that I should be laying emphasis on some other chapters or certain other things perhaps which are problematic for you, please let me know. I can't read your mind, so you need to type it and send that to me. Okay? Thank you all. Bye bye.